Conor McGregor and Jorge Masvidal had words for each other on social media. Jorge tweeted at the Notorious MMA, "Shut your mouth, you pissing hot You're not cleared to fight," talking about fighters going through the grind and process. "I bet you never say my name, you scared chicken." Conor fired back on his Instagram story. He wrote, "You gave up the only thing you had worthy of a fight, you jackass, and you got your pal head kick KO'd in the process." Jamahal Hill on the Champ Chat podcast says he's not impressed with Alex Pereira's victory over Jan Blachowicz. Jamahal claims to see a lot of things in Alex's game that he can exploit. Go subscribe to Jamal's YouTube channel. Links in the description.
Co-main event, we saw a split decision win for Alex Pereira, whatever, over Jan Blachowicz, and I think they got it right. I think the decision was right. I think Jan came out and thought that he just had such a huge advantage in grappling that he would be able to just blow Pereira away like that, and he obviously was the better technical grappler, but Pereira looked strong, man. He looked strong, and I think that strength, that power gave him something to deal with that caused problems for him. He had to use a lot more strength than he would have wanted to get Pereira down, and then to try to keep him down. And he wasn't zapping enough energy from Pereira to counteract the energy he was expending to try to get him down. And in the second round, late in the second round, was when that actually started to show itself, as he started to pour it on and look like he was about to get Blachowicz out of there. He took that momentum, carried it over, and took over a good portion of the third round, and I think that was enough to secure it. Whether or not he ended with the last, I think maybe minute or just under a minute up underneath Blachowicz. Blachowicz scored a takedown but he didn't land any damage. Now, maybe if Blachowicz ends that fight with him bouncing his head off the canvas a couple times, maybe that decision goes the other way. But can't be mad at the decision. I don't feel like it was a robbery at all. And hey, welcome to the division. Now, me personally, I wasn't impressed with what I saw. I seen a lot of things that would be a short night for him against me, but it's not me. Luckily for him, it's not me that he'll be facing. He'll be facing Jiri Prochazka. From what I've heard, that fight will probably take place in Abu Dhabi, and I'm locked in for it. I'm a fan of it right now. I'm just on the sideline watching, checking it out and everything like that, and I'm gonna be tapped in for that one.
Sean O'Malley on the Timbo Sugar Show discusses Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland and whether or not the UFC would want Strickland as the champion.
Thoughts on Adesanya's next fight? That is an interesting question. Adesanya versus Sean Strickland's probably going to be next. I bet Jared Kennedy. Who did Jared just fight?
Marvin,
that's right. Looks good against Marvin. Beat Sean Strickland, but already lost to Adesanya. I wonder if Jared's like, what the f***? Or you get the game and okay, Sean Strickland's a fucking character. If you're the UFC, I don't know if you want Sean Strickland as your UFC champion. His takes are...
Hell yeah, you do.
Him going on podcast saying, "I crave killing people."
And then he just twists it in some way to well, I don't really crave it. It's just
But the question,
kind of things he says. Oh,
Izzy
man.
versus Adesanya.
Yeah, no
I'm
shit.
fucking hyped for that. I will watch that. I will buy that. I'm excited for that.
Who, Izzy versus Adesanya?
Yeah.
That's gonna be fire.
You wouldn't watch that? You, Jay.
No, but for
Izzy
real,
versus Strickland.
Sean Strickland. Is Sean Strickland really gonna come up and try to just box him for 5 rounds, or is he gonna use? He's a good grappler, a good grappler.
He ain't gonna do that.
Is he gonna strike with him?
Yeah.
Izzy's too fucking fast, bro.
I mean, yeah, that's what I would think too. But Izzy has been the best champ UFC's ever seen. The amount of times he has fought consistently as a champion in the UFC is fucking legendary.
Kelvin Gastelum versus Shavkat Rakhmonov has been canceled. Kelvin had to pull out due to a facial fracture sustained in training. Sources say Shavkat is unlikely to stay on the card, and the UFC is pushing to rebook the fight for UFC 294 in October. Kelvin posted this to his Twitter. He wrote, "Breaking news. Unfortunately, I have received an injury and my fight with Shavkat is off/delayed. Full video on my YouTube channel."
The unfortunate news, my fight with Shavkat Rakhmonov is off. I received an elbow that resulted in an open fracture and a few bones that came out fractured. And I have to apologize to everybody that's been, everybody was excited for this fight. I apologize to everybody. My apologize to Shavkat Rakhmonov and his team. I feel bad. I feel very horrible about this unfortunate incident. I'll be back. I'm still going to continue training. I can still do my strength and conditioning training, movement. I can still do a lot of my training with my trainer, Noah Feinberg. I asked to move it up to November. Hopefully they grant me this wish. That'll be November 11th in Madison Square Garden. It's hard to be a Kelvin Gastelum fan sometimes. I know we go through ups and downs together, but I promise we're fighting to get back on the horse and get back on that winning streak and continue it.
Renato Moicano believes Sean Strickland has a chance of beating Israel Adesanya. However, he doesn't think it's likely. He says that Izzy as a minus 400 favorite is still free money. Go subscribe to Renato's channel. Links in the description.
Moicano, but you don't think Sean Strickland has a shot? Everybody has a shot, But I think if you watch the Strickland last fight with the Russian guy, German guy, I don't on the first round, he was taking all the shots, And in the second round, the guy gassed out. But I don't think Adesanya is going to have problem with the cardio, the gas tank, because he's a pretty good striker, man. Yeah, Adesanya, and even it's funny because I was watching a Sean Strickland interview, and that's why I was, this is going to be free money. So basically he's saying I'm going to box it against a better striker than me for 5 rounds. Anything can happen, but guess what? My opinion, Sean Strickland is in trouble, and Adesanya minus 400 on that fight specifically is free money. Make sure you don't do what I say, because I'm not financial advisor, my brother. I'm not responsible for you losing your house. I don't bet my house. I don't bet any money. But if you do, don't blame me, you motherfucker. But for me, this is easy money.
Sean Strickland had some words for Sean O'Malley, and O'Malley replied. Strickland claims that he recently ran into O'Malley and made fun of his 6'9" tattoo, which made O'Malley emotional and he walked away. Strickland tweeted this. He wrote, "I like Aljo way more than O'Malley. F***ing guy is a woman. You let a snitch pet tattoo his name on you like a little bitch. Asked him once why he did it, and he got all emotional and awkward and I had to walk away. Such a woman." O'Malley replied saying lols. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post future ones. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Anthony. It says, Tony's the type of guy to not make excuses even when he makes excuses. The second one says, Tony the type of guy to match his 12-fight win streak with a 12-fight losing streak. Perfectly balanced. And the final one says, I feel so bad for Tony. He is the definition of a fighter that gave everything he had to the company, got chewed up, and spat out once he had nothing left. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured on the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. If you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen to get caught up. And make sure to go subscribe to our second channel where we post our exclusive MMA interviews.